Cavalcade of Sports is on the air.
Baseball fans, this is Earl Gillespie at Yankee Stadium in New York, greeting you for the Gillette Safety Razor Company as the Milwaukee Braves and New York Yankees get ready for the opening game of the 1957 World Series. Now, for the 19th consecutive year, the Gillette Cavalcade of Sports brings you baseball's championship classic. To thank you for using its products, Gillette airs sports events the year round, including the Rose Bowl game, Blue-Gray game, Kentucky Derby, All-Star Baseball game, and the best in boxing every Friday night. This broadcast is authorized on the broadcasting rights granted by the Commissioner of Baseball solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. And any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express consent of the Commissioner is prohibited. A battle of southpaws in this first game of the 1957 World Series. And as we look down from our perch here at Yankee Stadium, the veteran southpaw Warren Spahn cranking up and tossing down to Bob Keeley, the bullpen catcher coach. The 36-year-old left-hander, one of the great southpaws in the history of the game, this year in the National League finished with a record of 21 victories and 11 defeats. Across from Warren Spahn on the first base side is Whitey Ford, who in the early part of the 1957 campaign was bothered first by a bad left arm, and that sore moved up into the left shoulder. Whitey came on strong in the last 2 months of the 1957 season. He finished with a very fine record for manager Casey Stengel, 11 victories and 5 defeats. Now, Ford's earned run average for the season just passed, a very brilliant 2.58. He appeared in 24 ball games. Warren Spahn, appearing in 39 games, had an earned run average of 2.69. This will be the 54th World Series. And for the first time in the history of this colorful classic, the New York Yankees, favorites again in 57, meet for the first time the Milwaukee Braves, who twice in their baseball history have appeared in the Fall Classic. That was back in 1914, when the then Miracle Braves of Boston, Massachusetts, moved up from last place after July the 4th to overtake the leaders and win the National League flag. And their great momentum of that final splurge carried them through the World Series as they knocked off the Philadelphia Athletics for a World Championship. Now, the last time the Braves moved into that World Series was 1948. They lost to the Cleveland Indians. Warren Spahn in that series had 1 victory and 1 defeat. Whitey Ford makes his 3rd World Series start today. Last year, he lost the opener to the Brooklyn Dodgers at colorful Abbott Field. And the year before, he was victorious in the opening game of the series here at Yankee Stadium. Throughout the 1957 season, the Milwaukee Braves had quite a battle on their hands with 4 other ball clubs of the National League, with the defending National League champion Brooklyn Dodgers, the St. Louis Cardinals, who hung on very determined until the last week of the campaign, the powerful Cincinnati Redlegs, and the surprising Philadelphia Phillies. But both the Yankees and the Braves clinched their pennants on the same night a week ago last Monday, and they finished strong by finishing 8 games in front of the number 2 ball club. The Yankees had quite a battle in their hand from the Chicago White Sox. And it wasn't until late August and early September that the Yankees began to show that championship brand that has carried them into 8 of the last 9 years in pennant. Now, Warren Spahn this afternoon, Whitey Ford for the New York Yankees. And let's look at the starting lineups. For manager Fred Haney, who is making his first appearance in the World Series. It'll be Red Schoendienst at second base. Johnny Logan at short. Eddie Matthews at third. Henry Aaron in center field. He was the major league leader in home runs with 44, and in runs batted in with 132. Joe Adcock at first base. The veteran right fielder, Andy Pafko. Wes Covington in left. Del Crandall catching, and Warren Spahn the starter. For the New York Yankees, defending world champions this afternoon, Hank Bauer in right field. Gil McDougald at short. Mickey Mantle starting in center field. Bill Skowron at first base. Yogi Berra catching. Andy Carey at third base. Jerry Coleman at second base. The rookie from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, wearing a Yankee uniform, Tony Kubek, playing that tough left field. And the left-hander, Whitey Ford, is the pitcher. The 1957 World Series is being brought to you from Yankee Stadium in New York.
This is John Cameron Swayze with news of a significant advance in the science of writing. In my years of news reporting, I've had many a pen stop writing just when I needed it most. You've probably had the same trouble. Chances are you weren't out of ink. The ink was simply clogged. Ink clogging, you see, is the major reason most ball pens stop writing. After years of research, Papermate has discovered an exclusive new ink formula with an amazing additive called Flogen that ends ink clogging. Because of its remarkable lubricating and anti-clogging properties, Papermate's new ink formula with Flogen writes all the time and every time, even on hard-to-write surfaces such as checks, glossy photos, even glass. So get smooth, dependable writing. Get a Papermate, the only pen that has the exclusive new ink formula with amazing Flogen. You can still buy the new Papermate Piggyback Capri at no increase in price.
Back at Yankee Stadium, where the weatherman has cooperated fully today with a temperature at 65 degrees. This is not a pitcher's win, as the wind is blowing out towards right field. And the umpires this afternoon, 3 from the American and 3 from the National. Joe Paparella of the American League will be calling the balls and strikes. Colorful Jocko Conlon of the National League at first base. Bill McKinley of the American League at second base. Augie Donatelli of the National League at third base. And down the left field line will be Frank Sikori of the National League. Down the right field line of the American League, Nestor Shilak. Both the left-handers continuing in their warm-ups. Whitey Ford for manager Casey Stengel. Warren Spahn for Fred Haney. This, by the way, represents the first Western Division ball club in a World Series since the St. Louis Cardinals of 1946. And as you look down that Yankee lineup, of course you see a lot of players who are well experienced in the Fall Classic. For the Braves now, their experience is very limited as far as a World Series is concerned. In the starting lineup this afternoon, Red Schoendienst has seen action in a series with the St. Louis Cardinals. Andy Pafko, back in 1952, wearing the uniform of the Brooklyn Dodgers, played the Yankees in a World Series. And Warren Spahn, Fred Haney's choice this afternoon, pitched in the 1948 series against the Cleveland Indians. The managers, Casey Stengel of the Yankees and Fred Haney of the Braves, have handed in their official batting orders. The umpires are ready to take their positions. The Braves here at Yankee Stadium occupy the third base dugout, while the New York Yankees are over here on the first base side. Down the left field line, it is 301 feet. To left center field, along 402. To deep left center field, 457. And to straightaway center field, 461 feet. To right center, it's 407. To right center field, shallow, it's 344. And down the right field line, it is a short 296. Opening day ceremonies out here, or rather opening World Series ceremonies, I should say, will feature something rather unusual, but I think it's the second time that it's taken place in a World Series. The most valuable player of the American League championship team of the United States will throw out the first ball. And this privilege and honor belongs to young Fred Fox of the Cincinnati American Legion post team that won the championship. Now, it so happens that 3 years ago, a youngster by the name of Russ Nixon threw out the first ball as the most valuable player of the American Legion. And today, Russ Nixon is a catcher with the Cleveland Indians. Many of the top stars in the major leagues began their baseball careers in the American Legion. Now, Whitey Ford has finished his warm-up throws. He is walking over towards the first base dugout. Left-hander Warren Spahn, who, along with his other Braves teammates, has been looking forward to this with great expectation and anticipation, continues to loosen up over here on the third base side. The umpires have taken their positions. The band is stationed out there in the deepest part of center field, and very shortly from Yankee Stadium, no doubt, we will have our national anthem. One of the big concerns of the Braves and the baseball experts will be the performance of of Henry Aaron and of Wes Covington, the Braves center fielder and left fielder, because of the troublesome shadows that extend out here around the fifth and sixth innings of the World Series. Fred Haney took his ball club into Yankee Stadium yesterday, hoping to work under actual game conditions, starting that work out at 1 o'clock. But there was no sun yesterday, so the shadows did not show up. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Yankee Stadium, here in New York City, our national anthem. Pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is WGY, WGFM, Schenectady.
They call me Saratoga, the girl from the Vichy Spring. My Vichy is the best in taste, the mixer with that extra zing. Look for the yellow label, insist on the genuine thing, 'cause only Saratoga Vichy comes from the deep fat Vichy Spring.
If it's Plymouth you want, see Englert's Motors, Schenectady's only Plymouth dealer. Right now, get the deal of your life on a 57 Plymouth at Englert's, 1016 State Street, Schenectady.
Whitey Ford has come out to start taking his warm-up tosses. Whitey has had a rather great record in the series in which he's won 4 while losing 2. And his regular season pitching, he won 11 while losing 5. Whitey was hampered by a sore shoulder most of the season, but has come on strong in the closing days. And for the Milwaukee Braves, the great left-hander Warren Spahn, who has gone on like the old Mississippi, just rolled right along. Strong breeze today, as Earl told you, blowing out towards right field. And it will be a factor, undoubtedly, in this game. Yankees have been in 22 World Series. They've won 17. And for old Casey Stengel, this is the 10th. 8 out of 9 years for old Casey. The Yankees have been working diligently. For the Milwaukee Braves, this is their second. And, of course, this will be their third. They've been in 2, 1914 against Philadelphia. They won 4 straight in 1948. They lost to the Cleveland Indians, the Indians winning 4 games to 2. Warren Spahn, stout-hearted gent representing the Milwaukee Braves, will be the man today that Milwaukee fans will hang most of their hopes on. The thinking being that if Warren can get by today, he may pitch in 3 if the series would go 7 games in 3 of the games, with the travel time being the first in many years, where the boys will be traveling west out of New York. So Whitey Ford continues his warm-up tosses. He's making them to Darrell Johnson. Yogi Berra, standing off to the right, is waiting for the first ball to be tossed out by Fred Fox, who's a fine, most valuable player of the American Legion tournament, a third baseman, just turned 18. And if you recall, it was only 3 years ago that Russ Nixon, a youngster, was here representing the American Legion champions. And he tossed out the first ball, and he now is up in the major leagues with the Cleveland Indians. All right, Yogi has gone through with the ceremonies of the toss-out, and he's now moved back to the plate. Outfield for New York has Tony Kubek in left field, Mickey Mantle in center, Hank Bauer in right. At third base is Andy Carey. At shortstop is Gil McDougall. Jerry Coleman is at second base, and Bill Skowron at first. And the first batter for the National League champions, the Milwaukee Braves, Red Schoendienst, moving up in there. Schoendienst, on the regular season, had a .309 batting average, and he, along with the rest of the Braves, were able to roll up some 199 home runs. Red is a switch batter, and he will be batting from the right side against the left-hander Whitey Ford. The outfield playing him straight away, and the first pitch of the World Series comes down, a curveball strike. So Whitey Ford, who can throw overhand, three-quarter sidearm or completely sidearm, who's got a good fastball, is ready now to work. And the one-strike pitch to Schoendienst, swung on, ground ball to Carey, big hop, waits and tosses over to Skowron. The throws in time, is out. First play of the World Series in 1957 is a ground ball to Andy Carey, throwing over to Bill Skowron. Bill is playing today with a considerable amount of adhesive tape across the small of his back. As you know, he injured his back about a month ago. And there was some question even up until noontime as to whether he'd be able to go. All right, up there now is Johnny Logan, a fine shortstop for the Braves. Hit .273 in the regular season. Wind up by Ford and a pitch to him. Curveball with a strike. So Whitey Ford, who has great control, is not showing any signs of having any trouble with the nervousness that usually goes with a World Series. Looks into Berra. Pitch comes down, and it's outside, a fastball, 1-1. Whitey has a birthday in this month, October 21st. It's 5'10", 182 pounds. Outfield playing straight away. Carey guarding the foul line at third. Here's the windup, and the 1-1 pitch comes down, and a swing and a bouncer foul going over by the facing of the box seats. Gentleman just stood up in the box seats and had the first souvenir. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. No score. Milwaukee batting in the top half of the first inning. Johnny Logan steps back out of there, looks down to the third base coach, Connie Ryan. First base coach is Johnny Riddle. Left side of the infield backed up with Carey moving back a few steps, and the windup now is Whitey Ford. Here's the 1-2 pitch to him. Swung on, popped to the right side. Jerry Coleman moves out onto the outfield grass, still backing up. He's under it and takes it, out number 2. So Whitey Ford has disposed of the first 2 members of the Braves to face him here in the first inning. And Eddie Matthews comes along. Matthews hit for a .292 average in the regular season. Eddie also an October birthday, October 13th. Now lives in Brookfield, Wisconsin, 6'2", 195-pounder. Takes a ball inside. Eddie hit more home runs before his 25th birthday than any other player in Major League history. And he's out there to try and connect on that short right field line. The outfield around the right. Pitch to him. Sweeping curveball for a strike. 1-1. Mickey Mantle is pulled around in right center field. Deep in right field is Hank Bauer. They're giving Eddie Matthews left center. And Carey has moved in a few steps off the edge of the infield grass at third. Wind up in the 1-1 delivery. Fastball for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Whitey Ford has taken care of the first 2 men of the Braves to face him, and he stands out there now with a 1 ball, 2 strike count to Eddie Matthews. Eddie, number 41, powerfully built, stands deep in the box and has a fairly open stance. Just pulls the right foot back a little bit. 1-2 pitch to him, a curveball, he fouls it off, and the count remains 1-2. Eddie has not only made great progress in the fielding of third base, but he has matured in his ability to look over those pitches that are good for him and to stay away from those that are bad for him. He looks out now as Whitey Ford gets ready for the windup, and the pitch comes down. Fastball, too low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Eddie Matthews digs a little dirt. Nobody on, 2 out. We're in the top of the first inning, no score. First game of the World Series. Ford ready to work, the left-hander. And the pitch comes to Matthews, too low with a curveball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So the crowd anticipating perhaps that Whitey Ford may go the way of all left-handers, usually associated with a little control trouble, although Whitey has never had that problem. He looks in now to Yogi Berra. Matthews with a 3-2 count is waiting, and they pitch to him. Curveball, he pops it up. The left side, Andy Carey coming in right near the foul line. He's standing on the edge. He's got it. Fair ball. He popped to Andy Carey. So Eddie Matthews pops out to Andy Carey for 3 away in the top half of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left for the Braves. And in the middle of the first inning, the score is Milwaukee 0 and New York 0. Well, the big one's underway, and to make sure you get more enjoyment out of every game, Gillette has a special World Series offer that's a honey. It's called Signals, the Secret Language of Baseball, free with the purchase of a Gillette Super Speed Razor. From an actual film of Paul Richards, manager of the Baltimore Orioles, you see the inside secrets of Major League signals demonstrated in fingertip movies. You zip the 8 reels off your thumb, and you see how big leaguers use the flash sign, the pump, the combination, the holding sign. You see how the bunt is called, the steal or the hit and run. You learn who gives the signs, when, and how. The whole fascinating story. You get Signals, the secret language of baseball, with the Gillette Super Speed Razor that matches your face for the best-looking, the most comfortable shaves you've ever had. Razor, Gillette Blue Blade dispenser, travel case, and fingertip movies, all for $1. Hank Bauer will lead off for the Yankees in the last half of the first inning. Scoreless ball game. Warren Spahn, who has a excellent fastball, which he uses usually to set up a batter for his great curve, and a pitch that's known as a screwball. Outfield pull around the left for Bauer. The pitch comes down. He takes fastball outside. Ball 1. Outfield for Milwaukee has Covington in left field. Around a few steps in left center is Hank Aaron. Andy Paff going right. Matthews at third, Logan at short, Shane Deans at second, and Adcock at first. Fastball over the outside corner, 1-1. Spahn is a quick worker, and with that high kick, the batter thinks he's looking right at those spikes, and all of a sudden that arm comes down and over. Wind up, and the 1-1 pitch is swung on, fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Warren Spahn working out there today. The hopes of the Milwaukee Braves riding high with them. Makes his home in the offseason out there in Hartshorn, Oklahoma. Stands 6 foot, 175-pounder. Next pitch to Bauer. Hits a soft fly ball into shallow right center field. Moving over there is Andy Pafko. He grabs it. 1 out. Notice the great team play of Red Schoendienst, who moved out. And with the large shadow that exists early in the afternoon around in right field in Yankee Stadium, Schoendienst motioning with his hand and with his finger where the ball was in case Andy Pafko had any trouble picking it up. 1 away. Gil McDougall, a batter. Gil in the regular season batted to a .289 average. Pitch by Pafko, by Spahn is a line drive hit in the right field. Pafko moves in on the ball and takes it on the first hop. And the first hit of the World Series is Gil McDougall's single into right field. Spahn threw him a curveball that hung up there just a little bit, and Gil McDougall whacked it out into right field. So Warren Spahn now with a base runner at first. Will pitch now to Mickey Mantle, batting from the right side. Outfield pulled around to the left. Pitch by Warren Spahn, a strike call. Mantle, bothered with a ailing left leg, may bat from the right side through the entire series, depending upon the progress of the injury. Next pitch to him. Feeds him a slider that's just inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Covington is very deep in left field. Hank Aaron around in left center. Left side of the infield backed up. Stretch by Warren Spahn. The pitch to Mantle. The fastball inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yankees with a runner at first in Gil McDougall. There's no score. Whitey Ford retired the Milwaukee Braves in order in their half of the first. 2-1 pitch to Mantle. A ground ball to the left side. Logan goes over in the hole, grabs it, can't dig it out of his glove. That ball went right into the webbing of Johnny Logan's glove, and he was not able to dig it out. It goes as a base hit. So the Yankees have put singles back to back. McDougall at second, Mickey Mantle at first. And that is one of the most unusual base hits you'll ever see. Ball hit in the pocket, went up between the thumb and the index finger on his glove, and stuck in there. Johnny Logan was not able to dig it out. So the Yankees now have runners at second and first. 1 out, and the batter is Bill Skowron. Bill with the .304 average in the regular season. Check of the runners by Warren Spahn. He delivers a curveball, hit to the right side. Moving in is Schoendienst. Throws to second for the force at second, and no chance for a play at first as Mantle, going into second, took Logan out of the play. So Skowron safe at first. Mantle forced at second, and the play going 4-6. Red Schoendienst to Johnny Logan, and Gil McDougall moves to third. So the Yankees now have runners at third and first. 2 out. And the batter, one of the most dangerous men in baseball, Yogi Berra. Yogi has had a lot of marginal spaces put in World Series records for his performances. Spahn's ready now. Delivers to him a fastball outside for ball 1. The Milwaukee outfield now has Covington pulled in a few steps in left. Hank Aaron is over in left center, and Pafko is deep in right field. Schoendienst deep at second. Matthews playing well away from the bag, about 2 steps off the edge of the infield grass. Yogi Berra standing there with a 1-ball count. Joe Adcock now playing back of the runner. At first base, Bill Skowron. Warren Spahn checks the runners, delivers now to Berra. Takes a fastball inside and low, ball 2. So Yogi stands up there. 2 men on, 2 men out, no score. Adcock again playing back of the runner. Pitch by Spahn to Berra. Fastball for a strike over the outside corner at the knees. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yogi stands deep in that left-hand batter's box. Here's the 2-1 delivery to him. Slices one over near the stands, foul. Going over is Eddie Matthews. The wind may hold it for him. No, it's in the crowd. Out of play. 2-2. So Yogi has a life. as he slices one foul that drifts into the lower stands. Yogi, in playing in this series, will take over the record that he shared with Bill Dickey of playing in the most series. Barra stands out there with a 2-2 count. The pitch by Spawn comes down. He swings on it, lifts a pop-up back of second. Going back is Red Shanedeans. Motions, he'll take it. Drifts back out there, and he's got it. So for the Yankees in the first inning, they get no runs. They had 2 hits. There were no errors. 2 men were left on base. At the end of the first inning, score, Milwaukee nothing, New York nothing.
This is Westbrook Van Boris with news from Papermate of a significant advance in the science of writing. In my years of news reporting, I've had many a pen stop writing just when I needed it the most. You've probably had the same trouble. Chances are you weren't out of ink. The ink was simply clogged. Ink clogging, you see, is the major reason most ball pens stop writing. After years of research, Papermate has discovered an exclusive new ink formula with an amazing additive called Flogium that ends ink clogging. Because of its remarkable lubricating and anti-clogging properties, Papermate's new ink formula with Flogium writes all the time, every time, even on hard-to-write surfaces such as checks, glossy photos, even glass. Get a Papermate, the only pen that has the exclusive new ink formula with amazing Flogium. The Papermate Piggyback Capri is still just $1.95.
Ready to move into the top half of the second inning. Scoreless ball game. And Hank Aaron, one of the great players in the National League, and a youngster who really inspired the Milwaukee Braves, this year hit 44 home runs, leading the National League, drove in 132 runs. He's from Mobile, Alabama, 5'11", 170-pounder. Whitey Ford pitching the right-hand batter, and Aaron hits a slow bounder foul down the third baseline. Umpire Joe Paparella moving right out there. The ball was topped, rolled out, then drifted foul. Aaron had a .322 batting average in the regular season. And the story in Milwaukee is that he sacrificed the bid for the individual batting title in order to be a team man, help the boys move around. Outfield straight away. Whitey Ford, the left-hander, delivers to him. Fastball too low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ford looking into Yogi Berra. Aaron wearing number 44, right-hand batter. Pitch comes down to him. Swings on it. Misses for strike 2. Ford gave him that fastball. It acts like a screwball. It actually breaks away from a right-hand batter. Or would break into a left-hand batter. Whitey Ford has faced 3 Braves, this being his 4th. There's the swing, a ground ball to the right side. Jerry Coleman, the second baseman, has it. Throws over to first. He's out. So Whitey Ford has retired the first 4 Braves batters to face him. Up now is Joe Adcock. Joe is from Louisiana. He's 6'4", 210 pounds. An old LSU lad. This is his first World Series. He's the only member of the playing combinations today that's ever hit a home run over the left field stands in Ebbets Field. Big, powerfully built gent. Had a fractured leg, was out from the middle of June to the middle of September for the Braves. Pitched by Whitey Ford to him, swung on, fly ball hit to the opposite field, maybe trouble as Hank Bauer comes over near the stands, reaching up, and he grabs it right in front of the seats. Adcock hitting to the opposite field. So the fans jam-packed here in the Yankee Stadium all came to their feet as Joe Adcock, hitting a long fly ball, almost got into that short right field area. 2 out. Batter now, Andy Pafko. Looks at a fastball. Inside and low, ball 1. Pafko is in the 54 World Series. Or 45 World Series with Chicago, 52 with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Andy in 49 at-bats, has 10 hits. Next pitch is ball 2. Outfield straight away for him. The delivery by Ford is a big curveball outside. Ball 3. 3-0. Now Pafko steps out, takes a look down to third base coach Connie Ryan for the sign. Connie going through some combinations. 3-0 pitch. He takes it for a strike. Now Andy again may take a flash down there and see whether he's to take the 3-1 pitch or whether he's to swing away. Wind up by Whitey Ford. The pitch comes down, swung on, a drive deep in the left field. Going back out there for it is young Kubek, and he is under it and takes it. So Whitey Ford in the second inning puts the Milwaukee Braves down in order as he did in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. At the end of 1.5 innings of play, scores Milwaukee nothing and the Yankees nothing. Manager Fred Haney of the Braves now shouting encouragement out to his boys as they go out. You know, Fred was a baseball broadcaster, and he goes right along with the rest of us when he says, "For shaves that look good, feel great, I'll take a Gillette every time. It's the only way to get a decent shave." Now, that's the way Fred wraps it up. You see, today there are 3 Gillette Super Speed razors, light, regular, and heavy. Light is for men with lighter beards, regular for average skin and beard, and heavy for men with dense, hard-to-shave beards. Now, one is exactly right for you. It has the precise blade edge exposure, edge angle, and weight to give you immaculate shaves, comfortable all the way, and that's guaranteed. So ask for the Gillette Super Speed Razor with Gillette Blue Blade dispenser and trim travel case. You get the whole outfit for $1, and as a World Series special, Signals, the secret language of baseball, is included free. We move now into the last half of the second inning. For the Yankees, it'll be Andy Carey, Jerry Coleman, and Tony Kubek. Spahn's first pitch outside with a fastball. Ball 1. Outfield for Milwaukee is shaded around to the left. Pitch by Spahn. Fastball catches the corner. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Andy Carey. Andy is deep in the right-hand batter's box, close stance. 1-1 delivery is, as he tries to duck away, fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Andy, a young Californian from Malibu Beach. Ready to work. Warren Spahn now feeds him the 1-2 pitch inside with a fastball, 2-2. Andy's a 6'1" gent, 195-pounder. Regular season hit .255. 2-2 delivery by Spahn is too high with a fastball. Ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Carey, leading off for the Yankees now in the last half of the second inning, has worked Warren Spahn to a 3-2 count. Crafty left-hander ready. Delivers a 3-2. Swung on. Fly ball hit into shallow center field. Coming in is Hank Aaron. Has plenty of room. He's under it and takes it. 1 out. Brings up Jerry Coleman. Jerry, the second baseman. Been in 5 World Series. Now lives in Ridgewood, New Jersey. 6 foot, 167 pounds. And in the World Series, he's had a combined batting average of .234. Jerry in the regular season hit .268. Spahn ready. Deals him a fastball high and outside. Ball 1. Braves have shaded just a little bit over to left center. They're giving Jerry more of right center field. Jerry can hit that ball to all fields. Swings on this one, tries to hit to right and fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coleman, utilized by Casey Stengel throughout the regular season of 1957. And Jerry can fill in at third base, at shortstop, at second base. 1-1 pitch now comes down to him, swings on this one and fouls it off. Coming back upstairs, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. No score in the last half of the second inning. 1 out for the Yankees. Braves have gone down in order. 6 men have faced Whitey Ford, and 6 men have gone down. The Yankees have had 2 hits, and they've left 2 men on the bases. 1-2 pitch now to Coleman. Swung on, slices this one foul. Spahn is feeding Jerry Coleman that fastball and that screwball on the outside corner, and Coleman just trying to get a piece of it. Been fouling it back. Matthews backed up at third. Johnny Logan deep at short. Big windup now, then the kick in the 1-2 pitch. Tries to hit the right field. Hits it down the right field line. It's a fair ball. And rolling down off the corner. There's Coleman going for 2. Pap go up with the ball. Throws in to Logan. He's in there standing up. So, Jerry Coleman, who has an ability to use that bat like a tennis racket and place those base hits wherever he usually wants them to, drops one just inside the line, and it falls in there for a double. The Yankees have their 3rd hit. The batter now is Tony Kubek. This youngster who hails from Milwaukee. Tall, splendid young performer. Looks at a fastball from Warren Spahn. Strike 1. This is Tony's first World Series. And as a matter of fact, he will have a birthday on October the 12th. 1 strike pitch to him. Swings on it. Hits a little floater out in the left field. Coming on hard for it is Covington. He's under it and takes it. Ball looked for a minute like it might drop in to left center field. Not hit too hard. Covington coming hard for it, made the grab. 2 out. So Whitey Ford will be the batter now with 2 out, a runner at second base, and Jerry Coleman. No score in the ball game in the last half of the second inning. Whitey as a batter in the regular season was pretty good. In 24 games, had 42 times at bat, wound up with a 143 batting average. Whitey bats him as he throws him from the left side. Matthews in close at third. Spahn looks back to second, delivers. There's a fastball. Inside and high for ball 1. One ball. The pitch now to Whitey Ford is a curveball. It's outside. Ball 2. Report has just been made to the press box that Bill Skowron re-injured his back running down to first base and has had to leave the ball game. Warren Spahn working to Whitey Ford. 2 balls to count. Next pitch to him. Strike call. Got a curveball over the outside corner at the belt. So that's a tough break for Moose Skowron, who re-injured his back running down the first base line in the first inning. There's a swing and a pop out into left field. Moving in under it is Covington. Has the room. He takes it. So again, the Yankees get a man on, but again, Warren Spahn able to meet the task. Gets him out. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 man left on. At the end of 2, the score is Milwaukee nothing, the Yankees nothing. And we have a change at first base for the Yankees. Elston Howard, who has spent most of the season for New York either catching or in the outfield, but who's been working for the past 2 weeks with a first baseman's glove, will now take over at first base. Has had very little experience actually at first base. I think he's played around 15 innings there during the regular season. But he has good speed, good arm, and with the bat, he is a very important part of the Yankee hopes with Skowron's sideline. Covington will be the first man up for Milwaukee in the 3rd inning. Wes has, in the regular season, hit for a .284 average. Left-hand batter ducks away from a curveball, high and inside. Ball 1. Outfield pulled around to the right for him. Right side of the infield backed up for the Yankees. Coleman at second. Howard at first. Pitch by Ford, a curveball. Inside for ball 2. Covington steps out for a moment, back in. Ford ready, delivers a fastball for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Braves have not yet had a base runner. Ford comes down with a curve that he swings on and he misses. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. First game of the World Series. Whitey Ford, working out there for the Yankees, comes down with a 2-2 curveball that snaps over for a strike. And the first strikeout goes to Whitey Ford as he breaks a big breaking curveball over. 1 away in the 3rd inning. And 7 of the Braves have gone down in order. Del Crandall is up there now. He has a .253 batting average. Del from Ontario, California, 6'1", 188-pounder. This is his first World Series. Swings and loops one out into center field. It's in there for a base hit. So Del Crandall gets the first base hit for the Milwaukee Braves in the top of the 3rd inning. And the hits now are 1 for Milwaukee, 3 for the Yankees. No score. And the batter now is Warren Spahn. Spahn, like his opponent today, pretty good rapper. Spahn had a 138 average. Bats as he throws on the left side. Whitey Ford working out there for the Yankees. Elston Howard now motions to Whitey Ford that he's going to play back of the runner. Pitch comes down. Spahn swings, ground ball to the right side. Slow roller, grabbed by Coleman, shoots it over to the shortstop, McDougal, for the force on Crandall. No play made on Spahn going down the first baseline. So Crandall is forced. Coleman to McDougal. Base runner at first now for Milwaukee is the pitcher Warren Spahn. Red Schoendienst, as he moves in there, takes a look now down to the third base coach, Connie Ryan. And Spahn takes a lead away from first. Whitey Ford out there on the mound, looking into Yogi Berra for a sign. Outfield straight away. Pitch comes down to Schoendienst, and he takes it high and outside for ball 1. Redhead asks umpire Joe Paparella to take a look at the baseball. Schoendienst, his first time up, bounced out third to first. And he is very capable gent with that baseball bat. Chokes up on it. Whitey Ford looking into Yogi Berra. Base run at first. Warren Spahn leads away. Pitch now to Schoendienst, swings and slices a foul upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, Schoendienst takes a flash down to Connie Ryan. Spahn with a short lead. Pitches a fastball, swung over for strike 2. Ford is the possessor of what is known as a sneaky fastball. When you look at it, it doesn't look like the blazer that men like Bob Turley or Herb Score throw. But when you bat against it, the players tell us it comes up there quicker than you think. Look to first, 1-2 pitch, swung on, foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Schoendienst, 2 out. We're in the top of the 3rd inning here in Yankee Stadium. First game of the World Series, and the score is Milwaukee nothing and the Yankees nothing. Braves getting their first base runner here in the 3rd. Breeze blowing out towards right field as Whitey Ford checks the runner at first. Delivers on the 1-2. A swing and a line drive hit out into left center field. Mickey Mantle coming hard for it. He grabs it. Schoendienst lines to Mantle, and it retires the side in the 3rd inning for Milwaukee. No runs on 1 hit. No errors, 1 man left on. At the end of 2.5 innings of play, the score reads Milwaukee nothing and the Yankees nothing. Say, have you ever noticed the number of times we announcers tell you a batter is checking his coach for a hit or a take sign? How these signs are given, when to watch for them? Well, everything about this interesting and little-known part of baseball is revealed in signals, the secret language of baseball, and it's yours free when you buy the Gillette Super Speed Razor. Now, here are 8 reels of action photos featuring Paul Richards, the manager of the Baltimore Orioles, in fingertip movies. You flip these stills off your thumb and you watch Richards demonstrate in real-life action the flash sign, the combination, the pump. How to call for a bunt, a steal, a curve, or any kind of pitch is clearly shown and also explained by one of the nation's top baseball experts. For more baseball enjoyment, get Signals, the secret language of baseball, with the Gillette Super Speed Razor, light, regular, or heavy. Matched to your face for quick shaves, clean shaves, and comfort that's brand new. $1 gets everything: razor, Gillette Blue Blade dispenser, travel case, plus the secret language of baseball, free. Last of the third now for the Yankees. Hank Bauer will lead off. Bauer up his first time in the first inning, hit a fly ball to right field. Braves defensively are set up with Covington in left, Hank Aaron in center, Andy Paff going right, Matthews at third, Logan at short, Shane Dienst at second, Adcock at first, with Warren Spahn on the mound and Crandall doing the catching. Bauer right-hand batter. Spahn ready, delivers with the left arm a fastball too low, ball 1. Frankie Crosetti coaching at third for New York, Charlie Keller coaching at first. Aaron shaded now a few steps over in left center for Bauer. 1-ball pitch, swings and misses for a strike. And Mr. Spahn possesses that good, sneaky fastball. So Warren Spahn works out there, 1-ball, 1 strike. Wind up in that high kick, and the pitch comes down. Outside as Bauer shortened up as if to bunt. 2 balls, 1 strike. Last half of the third inning, Yankee Stadium. No score. Pitch by Spahn, outside with a fastball, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Three and 1 now as Warren Spahn gets ready. Here's the delivery coming down to Bauer. Swings on it, hits a bouncer. Going over for it is Logan. He's got it. Throws over to Adcock. He's out. Johnny Logan, who had a little trouble digging one out of the webbing of his glove off the bat of Mickey Mantle in the first inning, goes to his left, fields this one perfectly, and fires over for the out. 1 away, and the batter now Gil McDougall. Gil looped one out into right field for the first hit of the series in the first inning. Spahn gets the sign from Crandall. The windup and the pitch on the way. Swings on it, hits a fly ball deep in the left field. Going over near the stands is Covington, and he's got it. So there's 2 out. You may notice we may show a little apprehension when Wes Covington moves over to the left field line. It is a very tricky area to play here in Yankee Stadium. And yesterday when the Braves worked out, there was no sun, so he had no opportunity to work on the shadows. However, the shadows have not yet really hit that area. But sometimes, even with the sun shining brightly, it's rather difficult. Pitch now to Mickey Mantle. Swings and fouls it off upstairs. Mantle stroked a ground ball to Johnny Logan that stuck in the webbing. Mickey got credit for a base hit. Playing with his left knee, very heavily bandaged. Outfield way around to the left end deep. Pitch by Spahn to him. Gets a fastball over the outside corner, strike 2 call. Mickey in the regular season had 28 doubles, 6 triples, and 34 home runs. Hit for a .365 average. Spahn with a 2-strike pitch to Mantle. Just misses with a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mickey has been in 5 World Series, this being his 6th. He's hit a Grand Slam home run, which he hit on October the 4th, 1953. Injured his knee in 1951. Warren Spahn with the sign into the windup, and the 1-2 pitch to Mantle comes down. He swings and fouls it off. So Spahn is trying to keep that ball outside to Mantle. Some of Mickey's longest home runs have been hit from the right side of the plate. Warren Spahn with a windup and deals on the 1-2. Fastball outside, ball 2. 2-2. Johnny Logan is shaded over on the left side of the infield, or shaded over near the hole for the shortstop. Matthews playing deep at third. Here's the windup. 2-2 pitch. Comes down. Swung on, and a fly ball hit high and shallow into left field. Logan going out. Coming in is Covington. Glasses down under it and takes it. So the Yankees go down in order for the first time in the 3rd inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. At the end of 3 innings in the first game of the World Series, the score is Milwaukee 0, the Yankees 0.
Look sharp, feel sharp, be sharp and listen, mister. How you fixed for blades? Do you have blades? How are you fixed for blades? You better check. Please make sure you have enough, 'cause a worn out blade makes you shaving mighty tough. How are you fixed for blades? Better look. Gillette blue blades, I mean.
Top of the 4th inning as the first game of the World Series moves right along. 2 great left-handers, Whitey Ford for the Yankees, Warren Spahn for the Milwaukee Braves. Really locked up in a great duel with I'd have to say a capacity crowd, just guessing from this position. Somewhere between 65 and 70,000 are here in attendance. And they're all rooting for a great ball game, and that's what they're seeing. Braves now will lead off in the top of the 4th inning with Johnny Logan. Eddie Matthews will follow, and Hank Aaron, as Whitey Ford has given up only 1 hit, has struck out 1, has not walked a batter. So Johnny Logan stretches his arms out. 273 batting average regular season. Right-hand batter takes a curve that sweeps low for ball 1. Yankees have Tony Kubek, the youngster, out in left field. 1-ball pitch is a little too high for ball 2. Mantle is in center, Hank Bauer in right, Andy Carey at third, McDougal at short, Jerry Coleman at second, and Elston Howard has taken over, and did take over in the 3rd inning, for Bill Scowen, who re-injured his back. Yogi Berra gives the sign. The windup by Ford. The pitch to Logan. A swing and a ground ball to the left side. Coming in is McDougal. It bounces up to him. Throws over to Howard. He's out. So Logan bounces out. Short to first. Gil McDougal to Elston Howard. And there's 1 away for the Braves in the top of the 4th inning. Brings up Eddie Matthews, who popped to the third baseman, Andy Carey, for the final out in the 1st inning. Eddie bats from the left side, and the Yankee infield moves back on the edge of the outfield grass, and the outfield's pulled around to the right. Give him left center field. Pitch by Ford to him, a curveball outside and low, ball 1. Ford looking into Yogi Berra. Ready to work. And the pitch to Matthews. Outside for ball 2. The curveball. 2-0. Eddie Matthews, who can stroke that ball. Waiting now for Whitey Ford. Pitch to him is a swing and a miss. Eddie had 32 home runs in the regular season, had 94 runs batted in, hit for a .292 average with 28 doubles and 9 triples. Was up 572 times. 2 balls, 1 strike. Whitey Ford slowing the pace down a little bit as he tries to carefully measure Matthews. 2-1 delivery. Sidearm curveball outside. That sidearm curve to a left-hand batter must look like the pitch is coming from first base. It's almost like a crossfire with Whitey having the ability to bring his arm all the way around sidearm. 3 balls, 1 strike. Pitch now to Matthews. Fastball. It's inside, ball 4. Whitey Ford gives up his first base on balls. And that's the first walk given up by either pitcher today. So the Braves start something cooking here in the top of the 4th inning, and it brings up Hank Aaron. Aaron bounced out second to first in the 2nd inning. This young man has fine wrists, quick wrists, and they're loaded with power as the 44 home runs attest. Ford checking the runner, goes to first. Both Whitey Ford and Warren Spahn have perhaps the best motion of a pitcher going to first base. And the runners very rarely take too much of an advantage over them. Again, Ford goes to first, and the throw is dropped by Elston Howard. Aaron won the National League batting title in 1956, and he was only 22. Second youngest champion in the National League history. Look to first, the pitch to Aaron. Outside with a fastball. Ball 1. Hank has played some rather interesting positions in his career. He played shortstop in the Northern League. He was an all-star shortstop. Played second base. Pitch by Ford is swung on, sliced out in the right field, a base hit. Here's Matthews making the turn at second as Bauer bobbles the ball. Here's the throw going across, and Matthews is in at third. Aaron slices one into right field. And Eddie Matthews, a good base runner, took a flash out there, saw that Hank Bauer was taking just a moment to recover the ball, made the dash, and went all the way to third. So the Braves now have runners at third and first. Only one man out, and Joe Adcock steps up there. Adcock, a right-hand batter. Time is called by the umpires. Eddie Matthews wants to tie his shoelaces. So in the great moment of suspense, here in the first game of the World Series, Matthews tying his shoelaces stops all action. He's all set to go. Outfield shaded just a few steps to the left. Playing deep for Joe Adcock, number 9. Joe hit .287 in the regular season. Pitched by Whitey Ford. Gets a curveball over the inside corner for a strike. Adcock appeared in only 65 games for the Braves in the regular season. Fractured leg, had 12 home runs, 2 doubles, 13 doubles, and 2 triples. 38 runs batted in. Pitch by Ford to him. He swings out, hits a bounce to the left side. Going over is McDougal. Shuffles to Coleman for 1. Throw to first, double play. So the double play gets Whitey Ford out of a jam. And in the 4th inning for the Milwaukee Braves, they get no runs. They had 1 hit, 1 base on balls, no errors, and 1 man left on the bases. So at the end of 3.5 innings of play, score Milwaukee nothing, the Yankees nothing. Well, everybody guessing here today how many fans are in the stands. Probably between, 65, 70,000. You know, it would take 180 Yankee stadiums packed to the guards to accommodate the men who use instant lather shaving cream today. Yes, sir, over 12 million men now use this modern, convenient way to get that clean feeling only a shaving cream shave can give. Gillette Foamy is right up there with the best of them. It's jet fast, convenient as they come. Quick as you trip the nozzle, you get rich, creamy lather. Stand-up lather that holds a barrel of moisture to make tough beards a soft touch. You shave in a breeze and wind up clean, refreshed. Your face feels great. And what's more, Gillette Foamy gives you the protection of K34, the exclusive antiseptic that destroys harmful facial bacteria while you shave. Worth a try, isn't it? So get yourself a can of Gillette Foamy Instant Lather. The convenient bomb-type container, enough to last you 3 months, costs 79 cents. Last of the fourth inning. And Elston Howard, who took over at first base for Bill Scowen, gets his first time at bat. Warren Spahn, the big left-hander, ready. Winds and delivers a fastball, strike one called over the outside corner. Elston from St. Louis, Missouri, is playing in his third World Series. Swings and slices one, foul. Grabbed by Charlie Keller, the first base coach, barehanded. Great play by Charlie, who swung around then like a merry-go-round. Elston appeared in 7 games in the 55 World Series, had 5 hits and 26 times at bat, had 1 home run. Last year, got himself a home run. Spahn delivers to him. Swits on a ground ball down to the right side. Grabbing it is Adcock. The race for the bag is out. He went for a screwball breaking outside, hit to the right side of the infield, and Adcock, able to grab it, raced him for the bag and beat him. So Elston Howard grounds out to Joe Adcock, out number 1. Last half of the fourth inning, no score. The Braves have no runs on 2 hits. They have committed no errors. The Yankees have no runs. They have 3 hits, and they have committed no errors. Batter now, Yogi Berra. Wind up by Spahn on the pitch. Curve outside. Ball 1. Spahn has given up 3 hits, has not walked a batter, nor has he struck out any. Yankees have left 3 men on the bases. Braves have left 2. Next pitch. Swung on, sliced foul. Coming back in the stands, 1 ball, 1 strike. Double play ball. Got Whitey Ford out of a jam in the 4th inning. And Spahn got out of a jam after having 2 Yankees on. There's a high fly ball hit into right field. Lots of room for Andy Pafko as he moves over under it. He's got it. Out number 2. So Yogi Berra is now 0 for 2. He's popped to the second baseman, fly to the right fielder, and up comes Andy Carey. Andy hit a fly ball into center field in the 2nd inning. Right-hand batter. He has power. Warren Spahn with 2 out, nobody on. Winds and delivers. Outside for ball 1. Spahn, since he gave up a double to Coleman, has retired in the last 7 Yankees in order. There's a swing, a line drive hit out into right center field. Pafko moving in, still coming in, and he grabs it. So in the 4th inning, the Yankees quickly go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. And at the end of 4 full innings of play, the score reads Milwaukee nothing, New York Yankees nothing. The battle of the left-handers continues in the first game of the World Series as Whitey Ford moves out now for the top of the 5th inning. And he goes against Andy Pafko, Wes Covington, and Del Crandall. Those who have followed the career of the pitcher for the Milwaukee Braves, Warren Spahn, have noted that as time goes on in a ball game, Spahn gets stingier in the department of giving away base hits. So, with Warren Spahn having escaped the Yankees in the 1st inning and having given up a double to Coleman in the 2nd and then getting the next 2 men and then settling down and retiring the Yankees 8 in a row, it may appear now that Whitey Ford and Warren Spahn are going to fulfill all the predictions of 2 of the best left-handers ever seen in the World Series, putting on a real battle. Andy Pafko, right-hand batter. Whitey Ford ready to work for the Yankees, delivers a curve that swung on and fouled out of Yogi Berra's mitt, strike 1. Whitey Ford gets the sign from Yogi Berra, and the pitch comes down. Swung on and missed on a fastball, strike 2. Ford's earned run average during the regular season was 2.58. And Warren Spahn had a 2.69. So 2 really great pitches out there. Ground ball hit foul. And the count remains at 2 strikes. Warren's lifetime earned run average is under 3 runs. So it's 2 strikes now as Andy Pafko, with a 277 average in the regular season, stands in there. 2-strike pitch to him. Swung, a bouncer, hit by Ford, going back to second. McDougall goes back there, grabs it, makes the throw. He's out at first. Fine play by Gil McDougall of a bouncing ball hit just to the left of Whitey Ford and hit almost back of second base. McDougall, a shortstop, moved over, fielded the ball, and while running in the direction of first base, threw over to get the runner. So the oohs and ahs will be ringing for some time through the stands now as Gil McDougall robs Andy Pafko. Batter, the left-hand batting Covington, who was called out on strikes in the 3rd inning. Pitch by Ford, a curveball. Outside and low, ball 1. No score. Yankees have 3 hits, Milwaukee with 2 hits. We're in the top of the 5th. Pitch by Ford is a curveball. It hangs inside, ball 2. The outfield for the Yankees pulled around to the right with Mickey Mantle in right center field. Hank Bauer is deep in right. And the right side of the infield for New York backed up. 2-0. Ready to work is Whitey Ford. Pitch comes down. Fastball over the outside corner, and it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Covington steps out for a moment. Here's a windup by Whitey, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We are in the top of the 5th inning. 1 away, nobody on. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He fouls it off, and the count remains 2-2. Breeze still blowing out towards right field. And the shadows from the right field stands now have moved out, covering at least half of the area between first and second, and almost covering the entire right field area. 2-2 pitch, swung on, foul back. And if the sun sinks low, then the shadows will extend out along the left field line. Shadows now are on the plate. Makes it a little difficult for a pitcher with the ball coming out of the shadow when it's swung on. So Ford is ready now with a 2-2 delivery. Swings, and there's a line drive hitting the right center field. Base hit. Covington lines a single into right center field. And the Braves now have evened up the hit total 3 apiece. So Whitey Ford, who retired the Braves in order in the 1st and 2nd inning, then was nicked in the 3rd for his first base hit, was in trouble in the 4th, gets the first man out in the top of the 5th, and gives up a single now to Covington, with Del Crandall, who got the first hit off Whitey, stepping up there. Crandall, right-hand batter. Covington, a fast man, leads away. Howard holds against the run of the pitch to him, is low and inside, ball 1. Outfield for New York, playing straight away for Dell. He steps out and takes a look down to Connie Ryan, the third base coach, goes through some signs. 1 out, 1 on, no score. Hits are even, 3 apiece. Runner at first leads away. The pitch comes down, swung on, a bounce to the left side. McDougall up with it, throws over to Coleman for 1, throw to first. Double play, dropped the ball. Howard dropped the ball. Was there in time for the double play. And now we shall have to wait and see if the official score rules an error. So the official score charges an error to the first baseman, Elson Howard, for dropping the ball. So a life for Crandall on the air. Force is on Covington, and it goes 6-4. And that's McDougall to Coleman. So the first error of the ball game goes up And up now is Warren Spahn with a runner at first. Pitch comes down to Warren, a curveball outside for ball one. In fairness to Elston Howard, it must be pointed out that he's only played the equivalent of 15 innings at first base. Inside for ball two. Not trying to excuse the fact that an error has been committed, but in fairness to the player, Elston has been working as a catcher and an outfielder. And with Casey Stengel wanting to have a right-hand batter in there, he's got Howard at first base. All right, the runner at first. Del Crandall leads away. Curveball is low and outside. Ball three. 3-0. And Warren Spahn takes a look down to Connie Ryan. See whether he ought to take one. Had an opportunity to see Connie work as a manager down in the farm system. Inside for ball four. And so Warren Spahn gets on a base on ball. Second given up by Whitey Ford. And the Braves now have runners at second and first. 2 out. Crandall moves down to second base. And the batter is Red Schoendienst. The second baseman for Milwaukee lined to the center fielder in the third inning. Bounced out third to first in the first inning. Whitey Ford working out there in a little jam. Crandall leads away from second. Spahn at first. Pitch comes down to Schoendienst. Takes a swing and he misses for a strike. Red really shortens up on that bat. The outfield's playing him straight away. He's batting from the right side against the left-hander Ford. Crandall with a good lead from second. Spahn from first. Next pitch, ground ball hit down the third baseline. Andy Carey comes up with it, steps on third. So Schoendienst forces Crandall going over to third. And in the fifth inning, the Milwaukee Braves get no runs. They had one hit. There was one New York error, and 2 men are left on base. At the end of 4.5 innings of play, the score Milwaukee nothing, the Yankees nothing. Now it's my pleasure to turn our microphones over to the voice of the Milwaukee Braves, Earl Gillespie.
Well, thank you very much, Bob Neal, and we certainly are seeing what we anticipated out here this afternoon, a battle between two sharp left-handers, Warren Spahn and Whitey Ford. And as we go to the last half of the fifth inning, no score. Each team has 3 hits. The Yankees have committed 1 error. Jerry Coleman, second baseman of the Yankees, leads off in the last half of the fifth inning. It'll be Coleman, Tony Kubek, and Whitey Ford, the tail end of the Yankee batting order. The left-hander Warren Spahn has allowed 3 hits, 2 in the first inning to Gil McDougald and Mickey Mantle. A looping double down the right field line by Jerry Coleman in the second. Since that time, he's retired the last 8 New York hitters. Coleman leads off, a right-handed batter. And the Braves outfield is playing Jerry around towards the left. Spahny kicks up the right leg. The pitch is a strike, it's called, and it's strike 1. Spahny's fastball knee-high near that outside corner. Tony Kubek on deck. Last half of the fifth. Jerry Coleman choking up a couple of inches on the bat. The pitch is swung on. There's a ground swing over left field. Jerry digging for first base as Covington fields this ball and fires it back into the shortstop, Johnny Logan. Jerry Coleman comes up with a second base hit. A ground single between Eddie Matthews and the shortstop, Johnny Logan. So there is hit number 4 off the veteran southpaw. And here is left fielder Tony Kubek. Kubek flied out to Covington in short left field in the second. A left-handed batter who peers out over that right shoulder at the pitcher. And he swings, hits a ground ball between the mound and first base, picked up by Spahn. Over to first base, Kubek is out, and on the play, Coleman moves into second base. Tony Kubek tossed out by Warren Spahn. And here is Whitey Ford. Ford has been mighty tough in the first 5 innings. He's allowed the Braves 3 base hits. And as a hitter, he has flied to short left field to Covington. Up now with a chance to put these Yankees out in front. Runner in scoring position on second base. That is Jerry Coleman. The outfield playing around towards left. Sponny's curveball catches the outside corner for a called strike. Strike one count. Wes Covington shallow straight away in left field. Aaron is shading forward a little bit towards left center. As Spahn looks back over the left shoulder, delivers, and the curve this time misses. Ball one and strike one. Warren Spahn, who in 1957 won 21 games in the National League while suffering 11 setbacks. In his major league career, he has totaled 224 victories. In World Series action, he has one victory, one defeat, both against Cleveland, 1948. The left-hander delivers, and Ford takes a curve outside. It's ball two. So in the first three pitches to the Yankee pitcher, Whitey Ford, Spahn has broken off curveballs. Ball two and a strike one count. Yankee runner, Jerry Coleman at second base. One out. No score, last half of the fifth inning. Spahn delivers. The pitch swung on, a ground ball to the shortstop's left. Logan over, scoops it up. Here's his throw. This is in time, and it's 2 outs. And on the play, Logan to Joe Adcock. Coleman moves around the third base. So Whitey Ford is thrown out by shortstop Johnny Logan. And we move to the top of the Yankee batting order. Here is the veteran right fielder, Hank Bauer. Bauer flied out to Andy Pasco in the first inning in short right center field. In the third, he was tossed out by Johnny Logan. So Bauer is up there now with a runner on third base. 2 men out. And the Milwaukee outfield playing him to pull around towards left field. Bauer swings at the drive to right center. This is going to be in there for the base hit, and here's the run scoring. It's all the way to the wall in deep right center field. Bauer is going to hold up at second base with a double. Hank Bauer doubles to deep right center field. A well-placed shot between Henry Aaron and Andy Pasco. And Bauer has the honor of driving in the first run of the 1957 World Series. Yankees lead 1-0. Gil McDougal in the batter's box. The New York shortstop has singled the right field, and he is flied to fairly deep left field near the stands in the left field corner to Covington. Runner on second base, 2 outs. The pitch is just outside the ball. We have had no action in either bullpen as yet this afternoon. The Yankees drawing first blood in the last half of the fifth. Bauer takes the lead off second base. Spahn checks the runner, kicks the leg, delivers, and the pitch is outside. That looked like Warren screwball, and it's ball two and no strikes. A pitch he worked on a couple of years ago. Hank Bauer on second base. 2 outs. The infield deep as Spahn delivers. The pitch swung on a ground ball to the shortstop's left. Logan over, scoops it up, throws to first base, and that retires the side. Gil McDougal is tossed out by shortstop Johnny Logan. In the last half of the fifth inning, 1 run, 2 hits. There are no errors. 1 Yankee was left on base. The score at the end of 5 innings of play is New York 1, Milwaukee 0.
Look sharp. Feel sharp. Be sharp. The only way to get a decent shave is Gillette. Shave Gillette.
The number 2 hitter in Fred Haney's batting order will be followed by third baseman Eddie Matthews and then center fielder Henry Aaron. Logan has popped out to second base and grounded out to the shortstop. Takes a curve low, scooped up by Yogi Berra, and it's ball 1 and strike 1. The Yankee outfield plays the Brave shortstop around towards left. A very sharp pull hitter. The infield is a couple of steps around towards left also. Ford has the sign. The 1-1 pitch is high, and that's ball 2. The 5 inning totals The Yankees have 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error. Milwaukee, no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. Whitey Ford checking with Yogi Berra. Logan up there, ball 2, strike 1. Johnny swings. Here is a high foul as Berra digs back towards the stands. He has no chance. Ball landing about 5 feet from Yogi as he dug towards the screen in front of the box seats. That ball was not high enough to allow Berra time to get underneath it. And there is a break for shortstop Johnny Logan. It's ball 2, strike 2. Whitey Ford, who in 1957 in the American League started 17 ball games but managed to complete only 5. Yet finished with 11 victories, 5 defeats, and a very fine earned run average of 2.58. 2-2 pitch, and this one is outside, ball 3. Ford bothered quite severely this early part of the 57 campaign by a bad left arm, and the pain moved up into the left shoulder, but he came on strong for Casey Stengel in the last month and a half. Ball 3 and strike 2 as Logan leads off in the 6th. Braves trailing 1-0. And here is ball 4 as southpaw Whitey Ford gives up his third base on balls. So Milwaukee has Logan on first base. Nobody is out. And third baseman Eddie Matthews, before stepping into the batter's box, glances down at third base coach Connie Ryan. Eddie has popped out to Andy Carey at third base, and he has drawn one of Ford's 3 walks. Free pass came in the 4th. Matthews standing deep. Looks out now at the left-hander. The runner on first base takes a short lead. Ford delivers. The curve is a called strike. Yankee outfield is playing Matthews deep and towards right. Hank Bauer is stationed about 10 feet in front of the 344 mark, while Mantle is shading Matthews a little bit around towards right center. Ford's pitch misses outside, and it's even up at ball 1 and strike 1. Yankees 1, Milwaukee nothing, 6th inning. Second game of the series here at Yankee Stadium tomorrow. Off day on Friday. And games 3, 4, and 5 will be played at Milwaukee County Stadium on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Whitey Ford has a sign from Berra, delivers, and Matthews swings and fouls this pitch back into the lower deck, and it's ball 1 and strike 2. Matthews, during the course of his major league career, has done a fairly good job against southpaw pitching. He admittedly does not like a sidearm delivery by those southpaws. And Ford will come around from that side once in a while. Ball 1 and strike 2 on Matthews. On deck is Henry Aaron. Logan leads off first base. The pitch is too low, and the count is even at ball 2 and strike 2. Certainly, we couldn't have asked for a better day here in New York City with that temperature at 65 degrees. And the wind is a hitter's wind pushing out towards the right field stands. Very spacious and huge ballpark. Ball 2 and strike 2 on Eddie Matthews, left-handed batter. Whitey Ford fires away. The curve breaks way outside, ball 3. So Matthews now has worked Ford to the full count. Ball 3, strike 2. Logan at first base represents the tying run, and Johnny has called the time. He is checking with Johnny Riddle. Call the time looking at the National League umpire working at first base, Jocko Conlon. Ball 3 and strike 2. Alston Howard, who usually brings 3 gloves out to Yankee Stadium, an outfielder's mitt, first baseman's glove, and a catcher's mitt, working at first base now for Casey Stengel. There's ball 4. Eddie Matthews moves that tying run to second base as he draws a ball 4 and a 3-2 pitch. Logan on second, Matthews on first. This is walk number 4 given up by Whitey Ford. And we may see a stir of activity in that Yankee bullpen, which is located in deep right center field. And we are going to get some Yankee action. Logan and Matthews have walked. The batter is center fielder Henry Aaron, who drilled a line single in the right field in the fourth inning after being thrown out by second baseman Jerry Coleman in the second. A right-hander, Bob Grimm, is now loosening up for Casey Stengel. Henry Aaron. Runners on first and second base. Nobody out. Ford's first pitch. A swing and a roller foul. Off to the left of the plate, and the count is strike one. Yankees won. The Braves nothing. Milwaukee batting in the top half of the sixth inning. Bob Grimm, who made 46 appearances for the Yankees during the regular campaign, is loosening up in the bullpen. His record was 12 wins, 8 defeats. Braves have Logan at second base, fast runner Matthews on first base. The pitch is a called strike as Whitey Ford goes to that outside corner on Henry Aaron. Strike two count. Whitey into the stretch, arms down to the belt. He delivers, and here is a swing and a miss. He struck him out as Henry Aaron tried to hold up. And that strikeout is number 2 for Ford. Coming here at a big moment in the sixth inning. One man is out, and the first baseman, Joe Adcock, who had a chance to give the Braves a lead in the fourth inning, with runners on first and third, but grounded into a double play, is up there now with teammates at first and second base. In the second, Joe had flied near the fence to Bauer in right field. The pitch is swung on as the ground ball to the first baseman's right. He's over fast, picks it up, throws to the pitcher, covering, gets his man in a very fine play. Elston Howard, far to his right that time in a slow roller, as Adcock looked like he tried to hold up on the swing. Howard tossed to Whitey Ford, who was over covering first base, as Logan moved to third and Matthews pulls up at second base. So the veteran outfielder, Andy Pafko, who is in his third World Series, and his third with a different ball club, 45 with the Chicago Cubs, 52 with the Brooklyn Dodgers, 57 with the Braves, is up there with a chance to break these Braves into the scoring column. He takes a slow curve that's low, and it's ball one. Pafko fly to fairly deep left field in the second, and was thrown out on so far the standout play of the ball game by the shortstop Gil McDougal in a very close play at first base in the fifth. Runners lead off second and third base. The pitch a curve is a called strike, and it's even up at 1-1. Ball one and strike one on Pafko, right-handed batter. Andy, who all the way down through the years has requested and worn number 48 on the back of his uniform, going back to his early days with the Chicago Cubs in the mid-40s, early 40s. Ball one, strike one. A brief time was called as Pafko moved away from the plate. Now we're ready. Whitey Ford delivers, and the pitch is low, blocked nicely by Yogi Berra. Ball two, strike one. Yankees leading 1-0. Braves with a scoring opportunity in the top half of the sixth inning have Johnny Logan on third base, Eddie Matthews on second base. 2 men are out. It's up to Andy Pafko. Second baseman Jerry Coleman is playing deep, lined up with right center field on the edge of the outfield grass. And a time is called, and the first appearance of either manager is taking place at Yankee Stadium as Casey Stengel goes out to talk to Whitey Ford. Now he has a left-handed hitter, Wes Covington, on deck. Wes has struck out, lined a single to center field. It may be, with Ford behind on Pafko with a 2-1 count, He may want Whitey to be very careful with Andy and possibly put him down on first base instead of coming in with that good pitch and to get at the left-hander, Wes Covington. We'll see in a moment. Yogi Berra crouching down behind the plate. They're going to work on Papko. First base open, the 2-1 pitch. A swing and a foul behind the plate. And the count is even at ball 2, strike 2. The Yankees scored in the last half of the 5th inning on a single by Jerry Coleman and a run-scoring double by right fielder Hank Bauer. 1-0. A ball 2 and a strike 2 count on Andy Papko. Logan starts edging off third base as Matthews moves off second base. Mickey Mantle is shading Papko slightly towards left center. The pitch swung on and rolled foul over towards the Braves dugout. Ball 2, strike 2. The envy of all Milwaukee and Wisconsin amongst the youngsters set, Paul Wick, Braves' regular bat boy, is in uniform and taking over his job here at Yankee Stadium today. He had a book written about himself. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, and there is another roller foul down to the third base coach, Connie Ryan. A ball 2 and a strike 2 count on Papko as Whitey Ford working hard. Andy has played outstanding baseball for Fred Haney this year. And during the height of the ball club's many injuries, Papko was truly a great standout. Ball 2, strike 2. Milwaukee runners lead off second and third base. 2 outs. The pitch. This is high, and it's ball 3. Ball 3 and strike 2 on Andy Papko. Whitey Ford taking his time, moves back to the rosin sack. Yogi Berra crouching down behind the plate. Looks out now, giving his pitcher time. Braves runners take their leads off second and third base. 3-2 pitch, a swing or miss. He struck him out. Clutch pitching by Whitey Ford, his third strikeout of the afternoon. And in the 6th inning, it's no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men were left on base. So the score at the end of 5 1/2 innings is New York 1 and Milwaukee 0. The Yankees, the first pitch swung on a high fly ball to short center or fairly deep center field as Aaron goes back, makes the catch, and that is one away. Center fielder Mickey Mantle leading off goes after Spahn's first pitch. Flies to Henry Aaron in center field, and Mickey now is 1 for 3 this afternoon. Batter is first baseman Elston Howard, who moved into action in the top half of the third when Skowron in the first inning, running out a ground ball in the infield, re-injured his back. There was quite a bit of apprehension about both Skowron and Mickey Mantle yesterday here in the New York area. Mantle with the bad left leg and Skowron with the back injury. 1 out, nobody on base. We're in the last half of the 6th inning. The Yankees are leading 1-0 as the right-handed batter Elston Howard looks at a strike and a beauty that's right down the alley. Howard up once, went out to the first baseman Joe Adcock unassisted in the 4th. Warren Spahn, stylish southpaw, delivers, and there's a swing and a drive foul. Into the stands down that first base side, and it's strike 2. Yankees 1 run on 5 hits. Milwaukee no runs and 3 hits. New York has committed 1 error. The Braves none. On deck is catcher Yogi Berra. The strike 2 pitch is swung on and fouled past the Yankee dugout, so that it's still a strike 2 count. Henry Aaron is almost lined up straight away in center field, just a shade towards left center, for this right-handed hitting first baseman Elston Howard. Strike 2 count as Spahn has the sign, delivers. The pitch swung on. Here is a base hit in the right center field. Howard singles into right center as Aaron scoops up this ball, fires it back into the second baseman, Red Shandy. And that is hit number 6 off Warren Spahn. Brings up Yogi Berra. And we're going to get action, I believe, in the Milwaukee bullpen. The Yankees with 6 base hits off Warren Spahn. Runner on first base, 1 out. Yogi Berra, 0 for 2 so far today. Takes high a ball. Berra in the first inning popped out to Red Shandings. In the fourth, he flied out to Andy Pafko. Joe Adcock holding Elston Howard on at first base. Spahn delivers. The pitch is over, but too low, and that's ball 2. 2-0. Breaking pitch below the knees. Big Gene Conley is in action in the left field bullpen for manager Fred Haney. Conley, 6'8". Spahn, glancing at the runner, delivers, and Berra swings and fouls one. That'll be back in the third base box seats. And a baseball souvenir for some lucky person. A ball 2 and a strike 1 count on Yogi Berra. Will be followed by third baseman Andy Carey. Berra had what you might call a disappointing season for Yogi Berra, batting at .251 this year. Ball 2, strike 1. Here's that move to first base by Spahn. Howard back in plenty of time. Although Yogi did manage to hit 24 home runs, and he drove in 82 runs. The 2-1 pitch, and this is low, ball 3. As Yogi said, that isn't too bad for a .251 hitter, 82 RBIs. Now, Crandall has called the time. He's moving out to talk to Spahn. Ball 3 and a strike 1 count. Spahn is behind on Yogi Berra as he works with Elston Howard on first base and 1 out in the last half of the 6th inning. And New York leading Milwaukee 1-0. 3-1 pitch is ball 4. And this is the first base on balls given up by Spahn today. It puts New York runners on first and second base. And it brings up the third baseman Andy Carey, who flied out to Henry Aaron in short center field in the second. And then he lined out to Andy Pafko in right center field in the fourth. And a time is called by manager Fred Haney. And Haney makes his first appearance on the playing field, except for the handing in of the official batting orders before the start of the ball game. Gene Conley has been loosening up in the bullpen in deep left center field. Very unusual bullpens here at Yankee Stadium. Very tough to discover who is actually working out there because the view is partially or almost completely blocked from our broadcast setup here at the stadium. But with a guy like Gene Conley, he stands out head over shoulders out there with that big red number 22 in the back of his gray uniform. Yankee runners on first and second base, the conference over. And back into that dugout goes manager Fred Haney. Conley is joined by a curveball right-hander, Bob Trowbridge. Andy Carey to bunt, takes a strike. It's on the outside corner. Andy Carey had squared around as though to bunt. Took a strike. On deck is the second baseman, Jerry Coleman, the hot hitter so far in the series, with a double to right and a single to left. Coleman on deck, and Andy Carey up here with teammates at first and second base, and 1 out. Warren Spahn delivers. The pitch is swung on a drive in the center field, base hit. Here comes a Yankee run now as runners are going into first and third. The peg to third base, and he is safe at third. Andy Carey comes through with a single to center field, and the Yankees have a 2-0 lead. Hit number 7 off Warren Spahn as Carey drives in his first run of the series. Henry Aaron's throw from center field went to third baseman Eddie Matthews, who tried to put the tag on Yogi Berra. Berra beat the throw. And now we have manager Fred Haney out of the mound again as second baseman Jerry Coleman is due to hit next. And we may see Haney go to the bullpen for either Gene Conley or Bob Trowbridge. And that is going to be all for the veteran southpaw, Warren Spahn. We are receiving the indication from the umpires that Haney has made up his mind to go to the Milwaukee bullpen. Ernie Johnson had joined Trowbridge and Conley out there. And this looks like the big right-hander, Ernie Johnson. Ernie Johnson is moving in from the bullpen in deep left center, and while he walks in here, we now pause 30 seconds for station identification. Jerry Coleman, second baseman, will be the first man to face Johnson. The Braves are playing the infield in. The outfield playing around towards left as Coleman, who looped a line double down that right field line in the second, and then single to left field, a ground single in the fifth inning, has 2 for 2, and the pitch is swung on miss, strike one. Jerry Coleman cutting around hard on a breaking pitch, and it's strike one. Ernie Johnson is a very slow and deliberate worker. He was raised in the Milwaukee Braves farm system and has been up in the major league since 1952. Runners lead off first and third base, one out. Johnson delivers, and here's a squeeze play with a runner scoring. The peg is to first base. He is out. A squeeze worked perfectly by the New York Yankees. Coleman's bunt down that first base line. The play had to go to first base. Coleman was out. Berra scoring. That'll be scored as a sacrifice and a run batted in for Jerry Coleman. And the Yankees now enjoy a 3-0 lead. On the play, Andy Carey moves into second base. Now we find the left-handed hitter, Tony Kubek, named by the Sporting News as the Rookie of the Year in the American League. A left-handed batter, 0 for 2. Johnson's pitch is a call strike. Kubek in the second flied to Wes Covington in short left field. In the fifth inning, he was thrown out by Warren Spahn. Perfectly executed squeeze play by the New York Yankees. They lead 3-0. The pitch high inside. It's even up on Kubek at ball one and strike one. Tony Kubek going all out, of course, in the series, and he'll be in front of his hometown fans Saturday at Milwaukee County Stadium. Runner on second base. 2 men are out. 2 runs across the plate. Pitch is swung on miss. Strike 2. 1-2 on the number 8 hitter in the New York batting order, Tony Kubek. Ball 1 and strike 2. Andy Carey leads off second base. Into the stretch goes Ernie Johnson. He delivers, and the pitch swung on missed. He struck him out. Tony Kubek becomes the first Yankee to strike out this afternoon. And in the last half of the sixth inning, 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors. 1 man was left on base, and the score at the end of 6 innings of play is New York 3, Milwaukee nothing.
This is Westbrook Van Boris with news from Papermate of a significant advance in the science of writing. In my years of news reporting, I've had many a pen stop writing just when I needed it the most. You've probably had the same trouble. Chances are you weren't out of ink. The ink was simply clogged. Ink clogging, you see, is the major reason most ball pens stop writing. After years of research, Papermate has discovered an exclusive new ink formula with an amazing additive called Flojum that ends ink clogging. Because of its remarkable lubricating and anti-clogging properties, Papermate's new ink formula with Flojum writes all the time, every time, even on hard-to-write surfaces such as checks, glossy photos, even glass. Get a Papermate, the only pen that has the exclusive new ink formula with amazing Flojum. The Papermate Piggyback Capri is still just $1.95.
Sharp defensive first baseman now in Joe Collins. So it is Collins at first, Coleman at second, McDougal at short, and Carey at third base for the Yankees. And the shortstop, Gil McDougal, calling for his sunglasses as Whitey Ford continues his warm-up tosses down to Yogi Berra. The Braves in the top half of the seventh inning lead off with Wes Covington, then Del Crandall, and most likely a pinch batter for the pitcher, Ernie Johnson. As we glance down to that dugout, we're trying to spot the Braves hitter who is down there swinging a bat around. Looks like it might be Nippy Jones. Covington tries a drag bunt down the first base line. This rolls foul, and it's strike one. Wes Covington took a curve strike on a 2-2 pitch in the third, called out on strikes, and he lined a single to center field in the fifth inning for one of the three hits off southpaw Whitey Ford. We're in the top half of the seventh. The Yankees lead 3-0. Outfield playing around to the right. Covington, strong left-handed batter, facing southpaw Whitey Ford, who delivers, and there's a swing and a miss. Strike two. The Yankees drew first blood in the fifth. They added two more in the sixth inning, making it a 3-0 ball game at the end of six. New York with 3 runs on 7 hits. Milwaukee, no runs and 3 hits. Whitey Ford has the sign. The pitch is swung on. There's a drive down the left field line. This might be a fair ball. It's down there for extra bases. Here is Covington going into second base with a stand-up double. Wes Covington hit that curveball, a line shot, down deep in the left field corner, and he comes up with his second base hit of the afternoon, hit number 4 off Whitey Ford, and the batter is catcher Del Crandall. An opposite field double by the southpaw hitting left fielder Wes Covington. Nippy Jones is in the on-deck circle. He is going to bat for Ernie Johnson. Here is Crandall, who has 1 for 2. A swing and a ground ball hit to the shortstop. Up is McDougal, throws to first base. He is out, and that's one away. Crandall, going after the first pitch, was tossed out by Gil McDougal. So the Braves catcher is 1 for 3 as he singled in the third. Now here is Nippy Jones. Nippy Jones, who was purchased from the Pacific Coast League after the injury to first baseman Joe Adcock. And he gave assistance to Frank Torrey at first base while Adcock was out of the lineup. A right-handed batter who takes too low a ball. Jones was used as a pinch batter in a previous World Series when he was a member of the St. Louis Cardinals. And the pitch to Nip is swung on. Here is a foul. It's off to the right. And it's even up at ball 1 and strike 1. Nippy Jones, who resides now in Linwood, California, 6'1", 190 pounds. He has very strong shoulders. And he has come through with some very big base hits for the Braves since moving up from California, from that Pacific Coast League. Right-handed batter, runner on second base. The pitch swung on, a chop down that third base side, picked up by Ford over to first base. Jones is out. A high throw. Nice stretch by Joe Collins. And on the play, Covington goes over to third base. Snippy Jones is tossed out by Whitey Ford. Those kind can be troublesome sometimes to a pitcher. Red Shanding's up there with a chance to drive in a run now. Red has no hits in 3 trips. He has grounded to the third base, flied to left center field, and he has been safe on a fielder's choice. Runner on third as third baseman Andy Carey moves Covington back into the bag. Here is a ball that's high. Ball 1 and no strikes. Ball 1, no strikes on Shandings. On deck is shortstop Johnny Logan. Covington on third base, led off in the 7th with a double down the left field line. 2 men are out, and the pitch is outside, ball 2. Milwaukee trailing New York 3-0 in the top half of the 7th inning. Left-hander Whitey Ford's 2-0 pitch, and it's ball 3. Too low, ball 3, no strikes. Shandings glancing quickly down at Connie Ryan, coaching at third base. Here is Ford's 3-0 pitch, and he gets that strike in there. It's ball 3 and strike 1. Ball 3 and a strike 1 count on the Braves' leadoff man and second baseman Red Shandings. The 3-1 pitch, and a strike 2, a beauty, outside corner knee high. It's 3-2. Shandings opened the 1957 season wearing the uniform of the New York Giants. Traded to Milwaukee, and has really sparked that infield. 3-2 pitch swung on a ground ball in the center field for a base hit. Here is the first Braves run scoring now, and Shandings holds up at first base. Red Shandings grounds a single in the center field, and that is hit number 5 off Whitey Ford. And the score is now New York 3, Milwaukee 1. That base hit gives Shandings 1 for 4, and it brings up the shortstop Johnny Logan. A right-handed batter. Ford has the sign. The pitch to John. Swung on foul. Back into the screen, and it's strike 1. The Yankees with 3 runs on 7 hits. Milwaukee 1 run and 5 hits. Logan to the batter's box. Eddie Matthews on deck. At first base, it's Red Shandings. Joe Collins holding him on. Here's the pitch. It's a swing and a foul. It's back against the screen again, and it's strike 2. Strike 2 count. This is the first inning in which the Braves have managed to get 2 base hits off Whitey Ford. They had singles in the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. Into the stretch goes Ford. He delivers, and the pitch is high. His fastball, it's 1-2. Ball 1 and strike 2 on shortstop Johnny Logan. Johnny out of the batter's box. He appears to be a very nervous hitter when he's up there with all of his motions. He windmills his bat as he watches Ford go into the stretch. The curve just misses outside. It's ball 2. Whitey trying for that outside corner, just missed it. It's ball 2 and strike 2. Red Shandings at first base and 2 outs. Whitey Ford taking his time. Shandings standing motionless on first base. Now leads as Ford goes into the stretch. 2 2-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. He struck him out to retire the side. Logan becomes strikeout victim number 4 of Whitey Ford. In the 7th inning, 1 run, 2 hits, there were no errors, and 1 Milwaukee Brave was left on base. The score at the end of 6 1/2 innings is New York 3 and Milwaukee 1. In the last half of the 7th inning, the New York Yankees will lead off with their pitcher, Whitey Ford. And Whitey will be followed by Hank Fowler and then Gil McDougald. On the mound, it's a big, strong-arm right-hander who hails from Brooklyn, New York, Don McMahon. He joined the ball club in midseason from the Wichita Farm Club and did a very fine job for Fred Haney. A blazing fastball. He has had very sharp control. He finished with a record of 2 wins and 3 defeats, but he saved quite a few ball games for the Braves in the clutch part of the season. Whitey Ford leads off against Don McMahon. And the first pitch, a fastball, is outside, ball 1. Whitey Ford has fly to Covington in short left, and he grounded out to the shortstop in the 5th. So the Yankee pitcher has no hits and 2 trips. He swings. There is a ground ball to the second baseman's left. Shane Dienst has it, throws to first base. He is out, and that's 1 away. Whitey Ford is thrown out by second baseman Red Shane Dienst. We move to the top of the New York batting order, and here is right fielder Hank Fowler, who drove in the Yankees' first run in the 5th inning with a double. Hank Fowler hit one between Henry Aaron and Andy Papko that carried all the way to the wall in right center field. And the first pitch to Hank is in close. He turns away from the ball. Hank Fowler, 1 hit and 3 trips. And here is a fast strike. It's even up at ball 1 and strike 1. Braves outfield is playing Bauer around towards left. Yankees have a 3-1 lead the last half of the 7th inning. And on deck it is shortstop Gil McDougald. McMahon delivers, and a strike is called as Bauer looked like he wanted a bunt for a base hit. Took it on the inside corner. Don McMahon, third pitcher used by manager Fred Haney. The 1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. He struck him out as Bauer was fooled on a curveball. So there is strikeout number 1 for Don McMahon, who averaged almost a strikeout per inning in relief this year. That is the second Yankee to go down on strikes. Kubek struck out in the 6th. While Whitey Ford has chalked up 4 strikeouts against the Braves. Gil McDougald, a right-handed batter, has 1 hit in 3 times at bat. And a fastball backs him away in close, and it's ball 1 and no strikes. This is the tough part of the day for these hitters, with that shadow moving in from the triple-deck grandstand, extending out to the mound, so that baseball, when released by a fastballer such as Don McMahon, comes out of that sunshine into the shadow, and it's tough to follow. And McDougald really broke away from the plate in a high inside hummer, as a ball player would say. McDougald 1 for 3, single his first time at bat. He takes a fastball high, and it's ball 2. Ball 2, no strikes on the Yankee shortstop, Gil McDougald. Mickey Mantle kneeling down off to the right of the plate. 2-0 pitch, and a strike is called. It's 2-1. First game of the 57 World Series. Now in the last half of the 7th inning. And New York leading 3-1. Ball 2 and strike 1 as Don McMahon fires away a swing and a foul that's way down the right field line, going up into the upper deck, bouncing down to the box seats. And it's ball 2, strike 2. McDougald getting set on the batter's box. He has a straightaway stance. Gil Still watching Don McMahon now as the young right-hander gets his sign. Here's a swing and a miss. He struck him out to retire the side. 2 strikeouts in a row for Don McMahon. And the Yankees are 3 up and 3 down in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. And the score at the end of 7 innings of play, New York 3, Milwaukee 1.
Look sharp, feel sharp, be sharp and listen, mister. How you fix for blades? Do you have blades? How are you fixed for blades? You better check. Please make sure you have enough, 'cause a worn out blade makes you shaving mighty tough. How are you fixed for blades? Better look. Gillette blue blades, I mean.
Hughes, Henry Aaron, and Joe Adcock in the 8th inning. Matthews, who set himself 3 goals this spring at the Braves spring training base in Bradenton, Florida, missed on 2 of the goals, but not by too much. He wanted to hit at a 300 clip. He wanted 30 home runs, he hit 32. He wanted 100 RBIs, and he had 94. And he finished at 292. In the 8th inning, Eddie Matthews leading off, and Ford's first pitch is a strike felt high on the inside corner. In the first, Matthews popped out to Andy Carey. He has walked in the 4th and the 6th. So Matthews has batted only once officially. Ford's next pitch is bunted down the third base line. Hustling in as third baseman Andy Carey throws and gets his man in a very fine play. A sparkling play by Andy Carey on a very fine bunt by Eddie Matthews. He pushed one down that third base line. It was spinning. Carey racing in, threw off balance, and got his man by about 2 steps. Now we move down to the Braves' power in Henry Aaron. Here's a swing and a high infield fly. Gil McDougall, the shortstop, sunglasses down, makes the catch, and that is 2 away. Henry Aaron going after Whitey Ford's first pitch. Pops out to the shortstop, Gil McDougall. So Henry now is 1 for 4. Brings up the first baseman, Joe Adcock, who has flied to fairly deep right field, grounds it into a double play in the 4th inning, and was tossed out by the first baseman to the pitcher covering first base in the 6th. The pitch is low to Joe, and it's ball 1. Joe Adcock, a power hitter, strong right-handed batter. The outfield playing around towards left. The pitch is outside, and that is ball 2. Ball 2, no strikes. Braves scored in the 7th on a double by Covington and a single by Shaindienst after 2 outs. Here is a swing and a high foul. Yogi Berra just turns, does not move back as this one is up on the upper deck. Ball 2, strike 1. The Yankees scored a single run in the 5th, added 2 more in the 6th. And when the 2 runs came across that plate, or one of the runs, both were charged to Warren Spahn. That ended the veteran's appearance here in the first game of the series. Adcock takes a strike, and it's even up at 2-2. Spahn had allowed all 3 of the Yankee runs and working 5 1/3. Ernie Johnson got the side out in the last half of the 6th inning after the 2 runs across the plate. 2-2 pitch and a ball 3. Low outside. Ball 3 and strike 2. 2 outs, nobody on base. The wind up and the 3-2 pitch, a swing and a chop past the mound. The shortstop to his left picks it up, big hop, throws to first base. Adcock is out, and that retires the side. Joe Adcock is thrown out by Gil McDougall. 3 up and 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody was left on base, and the score at the end of 7 1/2 innings remains the New York Yankees 3 and the Milwaukee Braves 1. Mickey Mantle leading off. and McMahon's first pitch is swung on, missed. That's strike one, and Mickey took a very fine cut. He is batting left-handed. And a swing and a high foul off to the left, going up near the roof on the third base side. Now it was doubtful that Mickey would try to swing from the southpaw side because of the bad left leg. But here he is, batting left-handed against Don McMahon. And the fastball is high outside. That is ball one and strike two. We have a change in the Braves' defensive unit now as Torrey has replaced Joe Adcock at first base. Frank Torrey, a Brooklyn-born youngster. Mickey Mantle bunts one, a drag past the mound, in fast as Shane Needs. There's no chance to get the speedster as he goes to first base. Mickey Mantle pushed that ball past Don McMahon, and Shane Needs realized he had no chance to get a fellow most people in baseball know is the fastest guy from home plate to first base, Mickey Mantle. So Mickey comes up with a second base hit, and that is hit number one off Don McMahon, number 8 in the ball game for the Yankees. And the batter is first baseman Joe Collins, up for the first time, a left-handed swinger. And Collins swings and rolls one foul behind the plate at strike one. A strike one count. Joe Collins, another veteran who has seen quite a few World Series for Casey Stengel. He's up there with Mantle on first base. He swings, misses, and it's strike two. Collins hit at .201 this year, appearing in 79 ball games. He hit 2 home runs and had 10 RBIs. Mantle on first base and nobody out. Last half of the 8th, Yankees leading 3-1 as McMahon fires over to the first baseman Frank Torrey. Strike two count on Collins. Another throw to first. These two out there now, McMahon and Torrey, played high school baseball against each other in Brooklyn, New York. Here's a swing and miss. The runner going to take to second base. He is out at second base. Mickey Mantle is tossed out by Joe Crandall and the shortstop Johnny Logan covering at second. So there is a double play as Collins goes down on strike. And that is strikeout number 3 for Don McMahon. And Mantle is doubled up at second base, trying to steal. So it's 2 outs and nobody on base. The first Yankee trying to steal a base, cut down by Crandall. Crandall to the shortstop, Johnny Logan. Batter is catcher Yogi Berra now with 2 outs, nobody on base, and McMahon's fastball sails high outside, and that's a ball. Ball 1 and no strikes. Berra has popped to second base, flied to right field, and he has walked and scored one of the Yankees' 3 runs. He takes a strike, and it's even up at ball 1 and strike 1. Ball game is just past 2 hours old now as Don McMahon changes up a curve outside. It's ball 2. Took something off that curveball. Ball 2, strike 1 on Yogi Berra with third baseman Andy Carey kneeling down off to the right of the plate. 2-1 pitch swung on, a hard smash. Gets by Torrey down the right field line. Here is Berra rounding first base. Is he going to go? No. Berra holds up at first as the ball is retrieved quickly by Andy Pafko. Yogi Berra. Pitch one past the first baseman, Frank Torrey. And that is hit number 9 for the Yankees. The second base hit off Don McMahon, both here in the 8th. Berra on first base, 2 outs. And we move down to the third baseman, Andy Carey, who has flied to short center field, lying to right center to Andy Pafko, and single to center to drive in a run in the 6th. Andy takes high a ball. Ball 1, no strikes. Andy Carey, who finished this year in the American League with a .255 batting average, drove in 33 runs. And here is a ball high. It's ball 2. Terry worked in 85 ball games this past season. Managed to collect 6 home runs. Ball 2, no strikes, and a ball 3 is low, 3-0. Fast-balling right-hander Don McMahon. Last half of the 8th inning, Yankees lead 3-1. Yogi Berra on first base and 2 outs. McMahon's pitch, a strike is called, and it's 3-1. Whitey Ford has gone all the way against 3 Milwaukee pitchers, Warren Spahn, Ernie Johnson in the 6th, and Don McMahon in the 7th. A fastball is in close, and there's ball 4. Terry moves down the first base line. Yogi Berra trots into second base. And this is the first walk issued by Don McMahon. The second walk of the ball game for the Yankees, one off Warren Spahn in his 5 1/3 innings. Second baseman Jerry Coleman, who squeezed the runner across the plate with a beautiful bunt in the 6th. Sacrifice has singled the left and doubled. 2 for 2 with 1 RBI and 1 run scored. And a time is called by Jerry Coleman. He steps out of the batter's box. New York runners on first and second base. 2 outs. Last half of the 8th, the outfield playing Coleman around towards left. The curveball is in close, and that's ball 1. Ball 1 and no strikes. Yogi Berra on second base, Andy Carey on first base. Berra this afternoon with that single to right field has 1 hit and 3 trips. Ball 1, no strikes, and a curve is in close. Ball 2 on Jerry Coleman. Tony Kobach is on deck. Now Matthews walks in a few steps from his third base position, yelling words of encouragement to Don McMahon. 27-year-old rookie who during the early part of his minor league career had a lot of trouble with control. Worked on it the last 2 years at Atlanta and at Wichita, a couple of Braves farm clubs. Ball 2 and no strikes. And here is a swing and a ground ball to the third baseman, picked up by Matthews, over the first base, and that retires the side as Coleman is tossed out by Eddie Matthews. In the last half of the 8th inning, New York has no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, and 2 Yankees were left on base. At the end of the 8th inning, the score is New York 3, Milwaukee 1.
Look sharp. Feel sharp. Be sharp. The only way to get a decent shave is Gillespie. Shave Gillespie.
The last chance for the champions of the National League, the Milwaukee Braves. They trail the New York Yankees 3-1. So Haney's boys need 2 runs to tie. And they'll send up Andy Papko, Wes Covington, and Del Crandall facing left-hander Whitey Ford. He's pitched to beauty. And as he faces Andy Papko, he goes up against a guy who's gotten out of there 3 times today. Papko has 5 to deep left. Thrown out by Gil McDougal, and he is struck out. Right-handed batter, and Ford's first pitch. Papko takes low. It's a ball, bouncing away from the catcher, Yogi Berra. Nobody on base and nobody out. 9th inning, Yankees 3, Milwaukee 1. Yankee outfield is shading Papko slightly around towards left as Berra's pitch, or rather, Ford's pitch is swung on and fouled down that third base line. It's ball 1, strike 1. Yogi Berra steps out in front of the plate for a moment. Joe Paparella of the American League has worked behind the plate this afternoon. Very sharp job. 1-1 pitch. Swung on. There is a high infield fly. First baseman Joe Collins near the bag, and he makes the catch. That's 1 out. Andy Papko pops out to Joe Collins. Now with the success so far of Whitey Ford, It may very well be that Casey Stengel will stick to the words he was mentioning yesterday, that if Ford makes a good impression, he may very well go back or come back with another southpaw tomorrow. That being little Bobby Shantz. Wes Covington, a left-handed batter with 2 hits. Swings and fouls him back here that's out of play, and it's strike 1. Covington was called out on strikes in the 3rd. He lined a single to center field in the 5th inning and doubled down the left field line in the 7th. He has scored the only run for Milwaukee in the 7th inning, scoring on a single by Red Shandies. 0-1 pitch. Curve is in close, and it's even up at ball 1 and strike 1. 1 out. Braves 9th, and they trail by 2 at 3-1. The 1-1 pitch, and a ball 2 is in close, 2-1. Ball 2 and strike 1. On Milwaukee's left fielder, Wes Covington. Outfield playing West, deep and around towards right. The second baseman, Jerry Coleman, is playing deep. Here's Ford's pitch, swung on and rolled foul behind the plate. And it's even up at ball 2, strike 2. Ball 2 and strike 2 on Covington. Whitey Ford looking down at Yogi Berra. Little southpaw kicks up his leg and delivers a swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that's 2 away. And that is strikeout number 5 for Whitey Ford. When the last man is out, Bill Corum, one of the country's foremost sports writers, will be here in the broadcasting booth to tell you how he and other experts in the press box viewed today's game. You get a new picture of today's game from another angle when you hear him. So stay tuned for Bill Corum. Del Crandall, the catcher, and he takes the ball in close. Del represents the last hopes of the Braves in this first game of the series. Ford has registered 5 strikeouts today. Crandall has 1 hit and 3 trips. And here's a strike call. It's even up at 1-1. Del Rice in the on-deck circle, and if Crandall gets on base, Rice will hit for Don McMahon. The wind-up by Whitey Ford. The pitch is swung on as they drive into center field. Mickey Mantle hustling in. He's there. Makes the catch. And the ball game is over. In the 9th inning, the Braves are 3 up and 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. So the final score, New York